are listening to the Moms in Business podcast, where we get real about all the things on balancing motherhood and still having a thriving business. It is my goal that you hear from real moms, you hear real stories on mindset, time management strategies, and even the moments of crying in the shower, because we have all been there. I'm your host, Misty Shaheen, life and business coach for moms who want the freedom to live life on their own terms without sacrificing their health or family time. Hey friend, are you struggling with finding your energy? Are you struggling with finding motivation, feeling depressed, or just in a serious funk, like you can't find your joy, or you're just not happy? You may be struggling with burnout, and this is something that I struggled with, and I put together a full report on how to know if you have burnout, signs and symptoms, and best of all, the habits you need to implement to get yourself out. So you can find that on my website, and I will link it in the show notes. It will be mistyshaheen.com/burnout. You know, I have really been reflecting on the past year and different times in my life when I was in massive momentum in my business and in my life. And I started to think about the things that helped me get there. What was I doing? What was my day like when I had these massive transformations? And I put together 5 habits that are really going to set you up for success if you're not already doing this. And even if you already are doing this, it's still a good review, because even though I've mastered some of these habits, sometimes we sink into our old ways. We go back to, what's comfortable, and we forget the things that we need to do, and we just don't do it. What's easy to do is also easy not to do. And it's really easy to get comfortable and go back into those old ways whenever the people around us, friends or family, are not necessarily have the same goals as us. And I find that especially true around the holidays. We go to family functions and we're just around our family more, and we can take on the energy of whoever we're spending the most time with. So it's always just a good reminder. So these habits, there's been lots and lots of studies on, these are the habits that millionaires swear by. These are the habits the most productive CEOs swear by. And this is what's going to help set you up for success. So habit number 1 is getting up at the same time every day and having some kind of morning routine. This goes back to moving through your day with intention, and it all starts in the morning, because I can tell you on the days that I don't do this, my day it ends up running me instead of me getting up with intention, setting intentions for my day and having just time to myself before the kids get up. I'm able to set intentions. I'm able to map out my day, how it's going to go, and I'm able to get my mind right, which is so important, especially when you have kids, because I feel like once the kids get up, then it's all about them. It's what they're going to have for breakfast, and it's getting them dressed and making sure their teeth is brushed and making sure that they are set up for their day. And then before I know it, I'm still in my pajamas at 3:00. I haven't gotten a shower and I'm feeling frumpy, and now I don't want to do anything. I don't want to get my work done. So having a solid morning routine really can set the tone of your day. So habit number 2 kind of goes back to the morning routine, but it's also about having an evening routine. Do you go to bed at a set time? because I have worked with so many women who are usually massively stressed out. They are so good at like giving to other people, and a lot of times they are, they're exhausted, they can't find their motivation, and a lot of times that comes from the lack of self-care and a lack of sleep because they're like running around cleaning up after everyone else, taking care of everyone else, or you're getting the kids to bed, and then maybe you're have time with your husband after the kids go to bed, or you're cleaning up the house, or maybe sometimes it's even just doing a Netflix binge after the kids go to bed because that's the only time you had to yourself. I have been there. But I want to bring us back to, what does our evening time routine look like? And are you going to bed at a decent hour where you're able to get enough sleep through the night? Because if you're operating on 5 to 6 hours of sleep, how is it that you expect to be this high functioning CEO of your business, high functioning mom who can do all the things and make 3 meals a day and can just be on top of their game and multitasking like a pro? If you aren't getting the rest you need, the whole next day is behind. The whole next day, you're not operating at your top performance. And so, really making sure that you are getting what you need. How much sleep do you need to operate at your best? And making sure you are getting that. For me, I know I need to go to bed by 10 o'clock. And I recently went to a specialist to evaluate my hormones because I've gained a ton of weight last year, 2020, I gained a ton of weight. I had anxiety, I had depression, I had so many things going on, mood swings. My cramps were way more painful than what they've ever been. And so I went to the specialist to evaluate my hormones. So we found out that, she measured my cortisol levels. Your cortisol is your stress hormone. And actually my cortisol levels, she said, is fine. But what's interesting is my cortisol, when it's being released, is the problem. And my cortisol is being released at nighttime. So when your cortisol is released at nighttime, you're actually not supposed to have almost no cortisol throughout the night. And that's what helps you like wind down and go to sleep. But my cortisol levels was spiking at night, which made it hard for me to fall asleep, hard for me to stay asleep. And so we are incorporating a new nighttime routine where we have all of our technology shut down by 7:30, 8 o'clock, so that I'm giving myself those hour to 2 hours between getting the kids to bed and me actually being able to settle down and fall asleep. So that's another tip that you can incorporate in your morning routine. If you are having trouble sleeping at night, maybe look at your technology and look at limiting it, because we know the blue ray light that comes from our phone, that comes from our computer, messes up with our sleep cycles. So habit number 3 is how you talk to yourself. How you talk to yourself. Are you talking to yourself into things? Or are you talking yourself out of things? If you set a goal that you're going to lose weight, but then you look in the mirror and tell yourself how fat you are, how motivated do you think you are to eat a salad? No. You're not motivated at all because you've already put it in your mind that you're fat, you're never going to lose weight, you're always going to be overweight. But if you can flip the script and talk to yourself in a new way and talk to yourself with loving words, the way you would talk with a friend, like, you got this, you can do it, I believe in you. That is the thing you need. You need to evaluate how you are actually talking to yourself. I'm talking about the inner dialogue. And one of the major transformations that I had when I lost 36 pounds and I started on this weight loss journey several years ago was I started writing down different things. I realized that I wasn't the most consistent person. I wasn't the most dependable or reliable person. I had tried so many different diets and quit them. So I decided that I was going to create a new story. And I started writing down affirmations, and I started writing down things like, I am consistent. I love to work out. I love eating healthy. Like, I just started telling myself a new story. And this is part of my work with NLP. If you're not familiar with NLP, it's neuro linguistic programming, and it has to do with your brain and the subconscious mind and how the information you're taking in, whether that be information from yourself, things you hear, or things you pick up from the media or your friends, that is all programming in your mind. And if you can tell yourself a different story and you can start to believe a different story, you can have a different result. So, habit number 4 I want you to adopt is having structure around your meal times. And this is so important for many reasons. Many of us go through our day taking care of the kids, we're working in our business, and we lose track of time. And a lot of us are skipping meals. This affects blood sugar, it affects our mood, and it affects our weight. It affects how we see ourselves. One of the most powerful things I did is I had structure around my meal time. So I was eating at a certain time, I was eating breakfast at a certain time, I was eating lunch at a certain time. And this just forces you to just take care of yourself and know that you cannot operate at your highest level when you are depleted, when you have no energy, when you have no fuel in the gas tank. So just like a car can't drive 1,000 miles without filling up, you can't either. So you need to be taking time throughout your day to refill the tank, refill your energy. We get our energy through our food and making sure you're drinking enough water at the same time. So having structure around your mealtime. Habit number 5 is moving your body. It is so important to move your body, and I have been not so good at this lately. And in 2021, I'm getting better at this because I know anytime I incorporate exercise into my day, it gives me energy, it re-energizes me. It's just so good for the endorphins. It's so good for our brain. It's so good to just take a break from our work and take care of yourself. And there's going to be so many powerful shifts that happen with this. Aside from the physical benefits, but the mental benefits of you taking care of yourself, you keeping a commitment. Whenever you're feeling stuck or stagnant, a lot of times moving energy in your body can help you move that energy. And a lot of times also, I get my most creative ideas when I'm out on a walk, when I'm not working on my business at all, or I'm in a workout and I'm like, oh yeah, that's a good idea, or I should talk about that. So there's so many benefits to moving your body outside of weight loss or any particular health goal. There are a lot of other benefits, and I want you to start making daily movement a priority. It could be a yoga class, it could be taking the dog for a walk, or just dancing with your kids. So this is some of the habits that I'm going to be re-implementing into my life because some of them have gotten sidetracked a little bit. And these are some of the things that I'm bringing back in 2021 to set up for massive success. If you want to know more about this, I'm going deeper into my new program, Habituals, and it is habits combining with rituals. And we're going to be talking about your vision. We're going to be talking about habits and some of the things that you need to incorporate to get to your goals. And we are going to be developing routines and daily rituals to make your success inevitable. So you can find more information about that at missyshaheen.com/habituals. Did you love this episode? I would love to connect with you and hear all of your ahas. Do me a favor, take a screenshot right now. Tag me on IG your biggest takeaway. You can find the podcast at momsinbiz_podcast. And if you haven't joined the party yet, we are hanging out over on Facebook. We have a private group called Moms in Business. And this group is all about connection, community, and collaboration. So if you haven't joined us yet, please do come over and join in on the conversation.